be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man. I'm the man. Woo! Woo! To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man. Woo!
Wrestling on weed.
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 Wrestling on weed. Subscribe today. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem.
Wrestling on weed. What is going on, Wow Nation? What's cracking? It's your boy Backstage D back with another episode of the Wow News Joint. Man, we just gonna do a quick news joint because we still got to do the blunt ratings in a little bit, but I had to show up and update y'all on all the madness. That's all anybody wants to talk about. I myself am waiting on new updates from SRS or Meltzer or whoever the fuck is gonna get the updates about what's going on. But they're trickling in, and more opinions are trickling in, and people are saying their little pieces. Everybody's giving their thoughts on what's going on because it's obviously a pew pew pew. This shit is a shoot, man. This shit is not fake, and people are making sure that we understand that this is not a work. Like other journalists, the journalists who I listen to and trust to have, good opinions, like Sean Rossap and other guys like that. You know what I mean? People who the wrestlers actually talk to. So, I've also been tuning in. I think Wrestling Inc. has been getting some pretty good updates about what's going on. But yeah, man, we got to talk about all this CM Punk drama with the Elite, Hangman Page. We haven't really heard anything about Hangman Page since CM Punk roasted him. I think he had already left the building is the story. We're going to get into everything that we know here in just a second. Y'all have already heard my take on it. I think Punk should have handled it differently, but I think that he was justified, in the way he felt. I just think he should have handled it way differently. You ain't got to be that disrespectful, you know what I mean? Or you ain't got to come off, you know what I mean, as, that disrespectful if, your whole thing is, I want to get respect, you know what I mean? And, he said, I gave him a chance. I was just fed up. So this is what I'm sad. I got to stoop to their level. So I get it. But, at the end of the day, now people are talking about this instead of so many other things that they should be talking about. Now the company looks like it's in shambles, just all these things, putting something like that out in the public to where it's not even vague about what they're talking about. Like, people weren't even paying attention to that Hangman promo anymore. You know what I mean? Nobody's even thinking about that shit. And, you know what I mean? Nobody really, I get the whole Colt Cabana thing, and, there's a certain crop of fans, and you getting middle fingers and boos in Chicago, and that probably touched them. I told y'all on the last news joint, I feel like that's probably what set him off. Like the fact that he was getting boos and middle fingers flipped at him in Chicago. He's probably like, yo, what the fuck, man? This is all because these weirdos fucking putting it out there that I'm like a bad guy in this situation and, making me look like I'm the villain of AEW in real life. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they're smart because they know I'm the bad guy. You know what I mean? It's like, no, that's not what it is. Like, don't be putting that out there. And I felt CM Punk. You know what I mean? I felt his reaction. I understand his reaction. So I get it. But I think he could have handled it differently. You know what I mean? Everybody, motherfuckers in their 40s. You know what I mean? Late 30s, 40s, however. I know Punk, I'm pretty sure, is in his 40s. So, things could have been handled a different way. You know what I mean? Definitely could have been handled a different way. Is Punk in his 40s? I don't know how Phil Brooks. I don't know how old he is. But, yeah. So, let's just get into everything that happened because apparently after CM Punk I don't know what we gonna call this because this ain't a pipe bomb. The pipe bomb is no longer CM Punk's coup de grace or crowning moment. It can't be. This shit roasted the pipe bomb. This shit was way worse than the pipe bomb. First of all, it clearly wasn't approved because you saw the faces Tony Khan was making while he almost choked on his water. So. And Tony Khan, he didn't go over this with Tony Khan. It's right after the match. This shit wasn't planned. It was probably planned by CM Punk, but it was clearly planned by CM Punk. He was fishing for a question, trolling the reporter just so he could talk about the shit. So this shit is kind of wild, man. This shit is kind of wild. But like I said, it got a little crazier after he finished talking his shit on the mic. Because you can't just get up there and call people idiots and doofuses and stupid and say they are, aren't smarter than people who work at Target and all these different things. You can't get up there and say that and just think they going to, not say nothing. And maybe he thought because they were in executive positions that they wouldn't take it there, but they still men. And there's mad testosterone flying around back there. I'm surprised Hangman Page ain't come back and try to clothesline his head off. You know what I mean? Especially because he challenged everybody. He was like, I'm going to still walk around this bitch. Like, if you got a problem with me, say something. Let's go. You know what I mean? It's like he want all the smoke in real life. He went over there to MMA and got his ass whooped. And now he's like, yo, I can beat y'all up, though. Oh, man. I'm not sure that's 100% true. You know what I mean? So his chest puffed out a little bit. I mean, he already, the report is he throwing the first shot, so he definitely want the smoke. You know what I mean? But we gonna get into it. We got some good backstage reporting that was done by SRS and other people. And the latest update, after the scrum, we're gonna talk about this right now. It says after CM Punk's AEW scrum, where he basically buried Colt Cabana, Hangman, like I said, all that good stuff. He said they were still in the building, and we're told that there were numerous people that had to intervene. That's where the details of the situation get foggy. Wrestling Observer noted that CM Punk started the issue by swinging on Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks. So clearly he was mad, but they approached him and, he just, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was like a Eddie Kingston mush situation or if he actually, you know what I mean? But the shit gets crazier, man. Punk's trainer, Ace Steel, the guy that we saw on Dynamite last week, smacking Punk and dropping the F-bomb and all that good stuff, he seemed to have been involved. Others noted that he actually hit Nick Jackson with a chair. Some said he got knocked out, leaving a mark on his face after the fight. Said he also got into it with Kenny Omega, and he bit him. Because that's what we doing now. We biting motherfuckers. All right, I want to know how this crazy this shit got. Said he bit him and he was pulling his hair and shit. Said there was a lot of cursing, a lot of mayhem, a lot of people not being willing to hash it out. Said one person who's familiar with the situation. Yeah, Shit was crazy. They said they were told that one of the coaches was very torn up about what happened right after Punk's scum ended a security guard. We saw that if you saw the video and Swerve in Our Glory's press conference after the show. You saw the security guard bolting out right around the same time that the fight supposedly happened. So apparently it had something to do with that. So there's been reports that Christopher Daniels and Pat Buck were involved in trying to defuse the situation. Of course, as leadership back there were several people trying to de-escalate the situation. Yeah. So it's crazy how all the stuff that I talked about when this story first broke in the morning, like I heard a lot of other people reiterating right afterwards. Like, you suspended Eddie Kingston, so somebody got to get suspended. And you about to have to suspend your trios champions and EVPs, you know what I mean, your partners, basically, or you're going to have to suspend your newly crowned world champion. Like, it's a bad look. That's why it's so messy what he did, you know what I mean, and what they did, you know what I mean, because I get why they approached him. Like, you don't want nobody disrespecting you like that. And I get why he roasted them, because you don't want nobody disrespecting you like that. It's a bunch of men with egos. And if, you know what I mean, you got to walk light around men. Like, that's what it is. It's not like some of this shit be toxic. Like, how he handled it was toxic. Like, that's toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? And I hate that fucking word. Like, there's better ways to handle stuff like that. Like I said, there's people back there who are probably willing to hash it out by just talking. Like, we're not in the caveman era where people can't just hash things out by speaking. But everybody's personality isn't like that. And I want to know what Punk meant, you know, when he spoke about giving them a chance. He's like, I gave him a chance, and this is where we at now. I'm like, you know, well, how did you give them a chance? Did you try to talk to them and they didn't want to talk to you? Like, I want to know what's going on. Like, there's got to be more layers to it. We're getting the surface stuff. Like, Punk gave us what he wanted to give us. I want to hear the other side of the story. You know, he seems to think that Colt Cabana was jealous. I wonder if he feels like the Elite and all these other guys are jealous. They're fighting for trios championships. He come right in. He's the world champion. You know what I mean? The Young Bucks ain't never going to be the world champion. I don't think they want to be, but still. You know what I mean? It's like, is there a little bit of jealousy in there? You know what I mean? So... And just CM Punk's reputation precedes him at the end of the day. His reputation precedes him. He's a surly, dislikable, unlikable motherfucker into some people. You know what I mean? I kind of get him. You know what I mean? I kind of understand him. So it is what it is. Chat, what's going on? KGM, I see you in the building. Gruss was cracking first in the house. Dave was cracking. Wild Nation in the building. Good to see you guys in here early. Yeah, man, this shit crazy. He said he's a scary Mark. Yeah, he is. He looks shook. He looks super shook. Like I said on Instagram, he looked like he is in an abusive, toxic relationship. You know what I mean? And he's just like, but, you know, they take good care of me. They make me money. so I'm just going to stay. You got somebody that's way big, your old joint, like, but I've been here for you all these years, and they just come around. But, yeah, but, you know, they have a nicer car. Oh, man, CM Punk pulled up with the nicer car, and now the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega like, yo. And she talking shit about us? Damn, so you gonna just let her talk shit about me? Oh, man, that's what it feel like. This shit feel like a toxic fucking relationship, man. CM Punk came in and fucked up everything. It's like he just came in and everything went fucking downhill. Everything from him getting injured and fucking up the title picture, just everything. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, man. He came in and basically just roughed MJF's gimmick. Like, nobody's even talking about MJF's return. MJF coming back to wrestling is like, should be the biggest story in pro wrestling, hands down right now. We've talked about MJF more on weeks he wasn't coming back. Like, just random. Like, is MJF coming back? We want to know. Like, just, that would be the first thing you talk about on down weeks or down days in the wrestling news cycle. So it's like, the fact that people are kind of talking about it, but people ain't really talking about it. They talk about how CM Punk just fucking dropped a nuclear bomb on AEW and just, like, destroyed kayfabe. Like, I mean, kayfabe. What's that? Like that's dead. Like he's just whew. This shit was it was bad. Like I like I said, I don't think it was 100% necessary. I think he probably should have, kept some of this stuff backstage just because it makes the company that you work for look so bad, man. It makes people want to be like, makes people want to leave, and clearly the locker room is super divided. Let's get a little more into this story, man. PW Insider reported that after the scrum, he returned to his locker room where the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega confronted him. That's what we talked about a minute. They said they can confirm that Punk and the Young Bucks had a physical altercation, but haven't heard the same for Omega. Instead, Omega and Ace Steel were to have one, like I said. We're told that Ace Steel cracked Nick Jackson with a chair, with another person saying they think he's lucky not to be in jail. He looked like a little pit bull. Like, he out there dropping F-bombs on TV and all this crazy shit. Like, I could see him being the friend that gets everybody in trouble. But he's probably also the friend that'll go to jail for you if you do something. He'll take the rap for you. He's probably that kind of friend. You know what I mean? Several sources in AEW that we spoke with said that they believe Ace Steel will not be back in the company after this incident. PW Insider also noted that Steele's wife was said to have been around carrying Punk's dog. The story of Nick Jackson having a black eye came from Steele throwing a chair at him. Damn. He threw a chair at his face? Damn, bro. He ride for his dogs. You know what I mean? He ride for his dogs, literally. Larry was there. Yo, first of all, his wife is there. He probably shouldn't be fighting. Probably should, like, I hope he was making sure his wife was good, like, out the way. You know what I mean? Before they start squabbling. You know what I mean? But then, yeah, he was just riding for his homie, man. If they probably pulled up on him like, yo, what's that shit you talking? He was like, yo, fuck all that. Blah, blah, blah. Swing first. You know what I mean? CM Punk apparently threw the first punch. Yeah, I mean, he was probably gotten between in front of Kenny Omega, like, nah, where you going, player? Where you going? You don't want none of this. You know what I mean? They start wrestling. He pulling Kenny's hair, biting him and shit. I was like, what? You bit him? Pick up a chair, turn around, throw it at Nick Jackson and shit. Like, that's crazy. They said it was a melee. They said security was called and there was many people trying to break everything up. One person outright said it was a situation of them trying to save lives. Jesus. There was an incredible amount of heat on Ace Steel after this situation, with one person saying they weren't sure what happened, but it couldn't have possibly escalated to hitting someone with the chair. Told you, man, he that friend that get you in trouble, man, that friend that take it too far. He just came out with that personality. He took it too far on fucking Dynamite. Everybody dropping every curse word, but they know not the one curse word they bet not ever say. They know. Daniel Bryan says it without the mic in front of his mouth, but everyone can clearly hear him. You know what I mean? But, with the mic in your hand, you know what I mean? He was just like, fucking. So he's already crossing the line. You know what I mean? First time on TV. You know what I mean? Now, so this doesn't seem like it would be too far from his character. You know what I mean? Based on the 5 seconds that I saw him on TV. Oh, man, judging that man based on one incident. But now I have to. It's real. Yeah, man, I don't know how the whole him not coming back is going to fly. How did that fly in New England when they was trying to get rid of Tom Brady's TB12 guy? I don't even remember his name. His little trainer. Bill Belichick was, I don't like this guy around. He's too many people want to listen to him instead of me. Who is this guy? He's just a trainer. Get him out of here. Tom Brady was like, oh, yeah, get him out of here. I'm leaving too. Oh, man. So I don't know how that's going to fly. Yeah, I mean, apparently him and CM Punk are boys. You know what I mean? Like 2-3 decades in. So I don't know how that's going to fly. You know what I mean? So it's just another reason for CM Punk to be surly and unpleasant backstage. You know what I mean? If they getting rid of his boy. You know what I mean? But you also can't be, like, attacking the executive vice presidents, bro. If you're just, like, a trainer or something. Most people getting fired. So I'm not going to feel bad for him if he gets fired. I just think it's going to be awkward. You know what I mean? with CM Punk. I can't even give my real opinion on what they should do. I will. I'm gonna tell you what I think they should do towards the end. A lot of people credited well, before that, it said the argument continued with a lot of cursing and shouting until the Elite left the area. We've heard from people who are siding with both, saying that Punk's comments prompted the situation. The others saying the Elite shouldn't have approached Punk while he was clearly pissed off. However, the large majority seem to think that Punk should have expected to have been approached about it. Yeah. Yes, you disrespected them people in front of the whole world, Phil. You're gonna get you can't do that. Like you just and not expect something to come back. Like he even challenged them to a fight. He said, "I'm gonna walk up and down the hallway, and if anybody got a problem, they come see me." He asked for it, so of course they about to. You can't challenge a bunch of grown ass men like that and think nobody's gonna pull up on you. Like, nah, it's they company. They started the shit, which is it's like the audacity. Like I know it go up there. Yeah, I'm the first $1 million. Like it was crazy when you think about it. It was one of the most arrogant displays that you could possibly ever see on TV. And he was eating muffins while doing it. That just made it worse. The fact that this nigga was munching on some muffins, giving them plugs and everything, just made it worse. It was like he's the most smug human being of all time. I hate him, but I love him because he's giving me this content. He's so good at this exact thing. This just talking shit and just making everything, crossing the line with everything being real. You know what I mean? And making everybody hate him and want to fight him. But apparently he had FTR, on his side. Apparently they had left the building already though. But, apparently also Danhausen is on CM Punk's side. It's like, you gonna curse people? Why didn't he just put a curse on them so they could all think, be on CM Punk's side? I don't get it. If Tony Khan fires CM Punk, boy, CM Punk is going next level on the Elite. I don't know where he would go. Where's he going to go? Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor. He works with, maybe he can go to New Japan. Where's he going to go? Like, he can't go back to WWE. Triple H do not fuck with him. You know what I mean? And he's been dogging them since he left. He's never stopped. He's never stopped shitting on them. Like, so WWE isn't an option, in my opinion. It's not an option. Phil Brooks will never work for Paul Levesque. It's not happening. So that's dead. The numbers ain't that much different. It's crazy. I want to say it. I'ma just say it. Tony Khan need to fire this guy. If this shit is real, I'ma just say it. I'm keeping it 100. And no, I don't want that to happen because I am a CM Punk fan and I like the chaos. I'm with it. I could do. But as someone who needs to show some type of leadership and get control of his company and show that he's the one in charge, the only way you're going to do that, or at least suspend him for like 30, 60 days, you ain't got to fire him. I take that back. You could suspend him for a long, especially since he threw a punch and hit somebody. Like you just suspended Eddie Kingston for face mushing somebody. You gotta fucking suspend him, and it should be an extensive suspension. It should be more than 30 days. It should be at least 60 days, in my opinion, but they need him for the builds, and which you're going to have another interim champion. You're going to strip him of the title. That would be crazy. You just did all of this, having Moxley drop it, then hey, you cannot strip him of the title. Unless you suspend him for 90 days, 120 days, then you ain't going to have no choice, but it's just going to make your company look like some rinky-dink bullshit. Remember how WCW started hot-shotting the title and Booker T had it and then he didn't have it, then so-and-so had it, David Arquette had the shit. It was just a fucking mess. You know what I mean? It was a fucking mess. You know what I mean? I think fucking... I think who else who's the fucking writer over there who destroyed WCW? I forget his name. I try to forget his name all the time. Bro, the original bro. Call him the original bro. He's the first dude in wrestling to say bro too much. But yeah, even he had the title. Everybody was holding the fucking title. You know what I mean? That's what they kind of about to be doing with all these injuries and interim champions, and they got interim women's champion, and it's just everything just seems goofy. Everything seems fucking goofy. It seems like it's a locker room with no coach. It's a big ass locker room with no coach. You got some assistant coaches, but them niggas was just on the team last year, so nobody really wants to listen to them. You know what I mean? It's like, nigga, you had to quit because you're not as good as me. That's why you're not doing this no more. I don't have to. You was just in doing this. It's different. You know what I mean? It's different. You know what I mean? Vince Russo. Yeah, thank you guys. Vince Russo. Yeah. So this is all a mess. Chris Jericho did his scrum, and he was, he seemed to be very, he got a lot of praise for how he handled things. And when he came out and was just, everybody need to handle their business, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure if he was aware of everything that happened, but I'm sure he knows, because he wasn't out there. He was backstage, so I'm sure he saw a little bit of what happened, or at least he was aware of it. So it's crazy, man. It's a mess backstage right now at AEW, man. And we had Kevin Owens posting a picture of Stone Cold, him and Stone Cold Steve Austin trolling CM Punk. Because obviously we all remember, I remember when CM Punk and Stone Cold were supposed to have a match, doing fucking 2K ads and all this shit. We was all like, yeah, it's going to happen. And then it didn't happen. So it's, and then, Kevin Owens had a great match, return match with Stone Cold. It was awesome. So he was trolling him there. You saw Rebby Hardy post something like, yo, I can't believe he went to their company. He's talking to him like that. That shit is kind of ridiculous. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. It's just like the audacity. The audacity. You realize you're in their company, right? You're in their company. Like, how do you go over there and call them all kind of names? And, like, it's just disrespectful. But he's so used to getting away with it because Vince McMahon was like, oh, shucks, it's funny. So, yeah, it's all funny and games and blah, blah, blah. And the whole time, it'd be like, he not playing. He's serious. He really means this, that the company will be better when you die, and it's going to be turned over to your doofus son-in-law and daughter. Like, he meant that. That wasn't... He didn't need a script. He was speaking from the heart. I think people laughing like, ha ha ha, good promo, Punk. He's like, no, that's not a promo. That's him just talking to you. That's what he's telling you what he thinks of you in real life. And so, shit, when you realize that, she was like, oh, that shit feels way different. You know what I mean? Vince McMahon don't care about that bottom line, but Triple H cares. Triple H not, fuck you. Who fuck is you talking to, little boy? I would smack the shit out. Triple H not going for that, so that's why they don't fuck with each other. You know what I mean? There was a better chance of CM Punk making it back to the company if Triple H wasn't in charge of anything. You know what I mean? And it was just like that, but not with Triple H and Stephanie, you know what I mean, who are aware of all the disrespect and continued disrespect. So unless Punk is about to retire from wrestling for good, like which he very well could be doing, that man could just be like, yeah, I just wanted to come back, get my name in the news cycle, have a couple matches, and I'm out of here. You know what I mean? He could just be like, fuck it, I don't care, fire me. Like, what the fuck? Like, which is it's cool, but it's whack, bro. It's whack. Like, we were perfectly fine having it was nice having you back. You could have came back for one more match and dipped the fuck out if you was going to do some shit like that. You know what I mean? And I still understand why he snapped at the end of the day, but I just think that it could have been done or handled a lot differently. Even with the backstage shit and him throwing punches, that could have been handled differently. If they not coming to swing on you, they coming to approach you like, what's good? Why you talking about us all crazy? You know what I mean? You ain't got to just haul off and start swinging on people. Like, that's not how adults handle things, especially with the way he be virtue signaling about everything on the internet. And you always virtue signaling about some shit, about how people should behave and what people should believe. And then, you know what I mean, go out and act like a fucking weirdo, sensitive and shit. Like, that's why people got to stop that, man. That's why you can't be sensitive. You know what I mean? You can't be out here being all sensitive and be an asshole at the same time. Doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an asshole. Like, I'm funny. I'm also don't take myself that seriously. But, you know what I mean? It's like, people could joke about me. Like, I'm not one of them dudes who takes himself so seriously that people can't. I love self-deprecating humor. You know what I mean? It's funny if someone tells a good joke or burns me good. You know what I mean? I'm a laugh too. That's the point of this shit. Like, it's a fucking joke, even if they mean it. Like, if it's a good joke, I'm like, it was fuck you, but that was funny. You know what I mean? It's like he don't have none of that in him at all. He don't have none of that. You say something bad to this dude, he want smoke, all of it. He want all the smoke. But he's toxic as fuck. He's always been toxic. There has never been a time in CM Punk's career where he wasn't toxic. Let's just call it what it is. Like, look at that man's WWE story. Like, he don't get along with his own mother, which is a super warning sign. You know what I mean? When somebody don't respect their mother or they parents, period. You know what I mean? Mother or father. You know what I mean? It's like, that's a red flag already. So it's like he just got a real weird relationship with his family, and just how he's always had a chip on his shoulder. Like, dudes, you know what I mean? There's good things about him, and he's a great professional wrestler, and he's the voice of the voiceless whenever WWE was trash and John Cena was in all our faces too much, but it's not that nice of a person. And it's worse because he pretends to be a nice person. Like, he thinks he's a nice person. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. It's really weird. Like, I think that Hangman was dead ass wrong, and I do think they were kind of trying to sabotage him because they're friends with Colt Cabana. I think he's 100% right about all that shit. I think the elite, they're weirdos. Like, I think that this shit is definitely weird, what they did too. And if, their involvement, if they're doing any of that shit, like spreading rumors or trying to put it out there to the people, because that's how the shit's getting. Somebody's putting these things out there. You know what I mean? And we know the elite have been good with the dirt sheets, and they're besties with Meltzer. Like, this shit getting all to the press somehow, some way. So clearly CM Punk already know. Like, I know who's fucking telling y'all this shit, and I know why. You know what I mean? And this is some bullshit. So I'm about to put it all on blast right now. That's what we doing. You know what I mean? And so I get it. I 100% get it. But there's a better way that he could have handled it. He didn't have to drop F-bombs every 2 seconds. He didn't have to call them stupids and idiots and compare them to Target employees. And there's just one, he could have been like, yo, this is the situation. I don't mess with this dude. These guys are trying to make it seem like I'm the bad guy because they mess with this guy. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And that's not the case. You know what I mean? He ain't have to say dude's mom. That was the most disrespectful thing to me. Where he's talking about the dude sharing an account with his mom. Like, he just digging in deep. You know what I mean? Digging it. Yeah, like now he just trolling him on top of, like, you already won. You the one with the $1 million contract and the AEW World Title. Ain't nobody care about Colt Cabana wrestling career. You know what I mean? So, it's like you already won. Now it's just like you kicking the man while he down. But it's like he's like, yo, I'm kicking him while he down because the motherfucker keep poking at my fucking ankles. Like, what do you want me to do? Man, he keeps scratching your ankles while he's down, then you might have to kick that. So I understand. It's like I understand I understand CM Punk. You can only do so much. The shit gets annoying after a while. You know what I mean? As a man, we're always asked to just turn the other cheek or just hold your, but we're naturally aggressive, especially these guys, they're fighters. You know what I mean? He just got done having a fucking 20-minute match where he had somebody digging into his bloody face. Like, so he already ready to go. You know what I mean? You seen your old blood for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, that shit. It's a bad time to approach him. You know what I mean? But also you can't be swinging on people, especially the executive vice presidents. So, we're going to hear more like statements and comments of people in WE WWE and AEW giving their opinion on stuff, because I can't imagine people in WWE aren't like foaming at the mouth. Like, we told you guys. We told you. We told you. We told you. So, yeah, it's a mess in AEW. There's a couple more news stories. It's nothing really important to talk about because this is what's dominating the headlines. This is what's dominating the news cycles right now in pro wrestling. And it's sad because everyone should be talking about MJF. No one is talking about Gunther and Sheamus anymore. Nobody's talking about, and nobody's even talking about Eddie Kingston and Ishii. Their match was fun as hell, man. Like, nobody's even talking about that. People should be talking about the Trios Championships, man. You know what I mean? The Elite just had a banger with the Dark Order and Hangman. Nobody's talking about that shit. All because this shit got messy, man. Just messy. Messy is high school. It's like high school. And you got people picking sides on each side. That's not good. That's not good. Like, just a year ago, it was all good. Just a year ago, AEW was the place with all the camaraderie. WWE was the place with, you know what I mean, backstage, everybody tense backstage. Nobody's not going to know who's in the next round of cuts and all this crazy shit. Shit flipped on his head. Man, it flipped on his head so fast. So fast. What's up, Jay? What's cracking? What did Jericho say? Yeah, Jericho, Jericho wants to keep things. Jericho's, but, he got a podcast. He be saying shit, too. You know what I mean? But, he's definitely a team player. He not going to go too far. He know how things work. Jericho's like, yo, we can't be doing this shit. We fucking up the money now, yo. You know what I mean? Y'all got to understand. Even with the cursing, he's like, yo, we can't be just be out here saying pussy. Like, we can't be doing that. Like, the other company I work for, they knew that when to not take it too far, and we pushing that line to where we taking it too far, and then we gonna have all kind of restrictions that we didn't need to have. You know what I mean? Basically, is what he was saying, because people wanted to cross the line. They already got it good, so yeah, I agree. It's just what kids do, man. It just shows the lack of maturity with a lot of those guys. Like, oh, we could say damn. Well, let's say shit. Oh, we got away with it? Oh. Well, maybe we could say fuck. Pussy? What do you think? Let's see if we could try. It's like, bruh, do you need to say those things? Wrestling's been going on a long time on TV without those words being used. You don't have to curse. You know what I mean? You don't have to, or you can curse, but you don't have to use every single word. You have to drop F-bombs and, you know what I mean? Call people pussies and all this crazy. You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? So, it just shows the lack of maturity in that that a lot of them feel that they need that. You know what I mean? Even with Daniel Bryan, I get Daniel Bryan's is better because he doesn't really be doing it on the mic that much, but he yells, I'm gonna kick his fucking head in so loud. I'm like, bro, it's kids watching, man. Like, why? But I guess he cares more about people eating vegan than he does. Your kids cursing and using foul language, whatever. I don't care that much. I just, think there should definitely be some brains used for the sake of the networks and fucking up people's bags. You know what I mean? Be smart about it, man. And that's all Jericho was trying to say. So I agree with him. Jay, who asked that? Yeah, Jay. Shad Khan is about to come take AEW from Tony, or hire his own people to help Tony run the company. Shad is dad. Is that his dad? That's his pops, right? Eddie Kingston in the back. I told you about Punk. Yep. I mean, it's a lot of people. So I saw somebody say Two-Face. Two-Face was right. I mean, I'm still a CM Punk fan. Like, this is fun. This is like, they could work this into some storylines. Like, tell me how bad you don't want to see CM Punk versus Hangman Page right now. Tell me how bad you don't want to see CM Punk versus Kenny Omega right now. Like, please, I'll take CM Punk versus Matt Jackson right now. Like, give me anything. You can have a tag team match and have Ace in there. He used to be a wrestler. Throw him back in there. We got CM Punk and Ace Steel versus the Young Bucks. I will take it right now. That's how good of a story they just put together. They ain't even need a lot of time to put it. It's like, we got 1 week for this build. We doing this match next week on Dynamite. CM Punk was like, Bet I got it. Oh man, so yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. If it is a work or if they end up turning it into a work shoot, then good for them. Everybody clearly came to their senses, and I think CM Punk is probably gonna apologize for the way he handled things. Um, I don't know about the whole Ace Steel situation. I don't know. This stuff is all fresh. He could never. CM Punk isn't really the apologetic type of dude. He's like to play the victim a lot. So we'll see. We will see. Bobby Fish wants to fight Punk in MMA. I don't care to see that. I just don't. Why? I'd rather see CM Punk and Matt Jackson in an MMA fight. If you're gonna give me a real fight, give me a real fight between the people I care about. I don't care about that. Larry the Dog for the trios titles. If it was WWE, then the Dog team would win. We already know that. But yeah, man, that's it for what's going on. Let me see if there's been any updates just in case. I don't think there's been any updates. Nope, no updates on the show on the fiasco just yet. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of news coming out about that. Shout out to all the people on Raw who got their first names back. We about to be live again in a few minutes. I need to eat something, so give me till 1 o'clock and we'll be live again for the Monday Night Raw Blunt ratings. We'll be reviewing the show and giving my thoughts on it. Yeah, it was a decent show, but we'll talk about all of that in a second. Dave, Fat J, appreciate you guys stopping through. Gruss, KGM, you already know what it is. My guys, Wild Nation Gang. Shout out to everybody that watched the stream, man. Thank you so much. Like the video so it gets out to the algorithm, man. That shit helps a ton. If you're in the chat right now, make sure you like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That shit goes a long way to helping out. We almost at 500, man. We'll be almost at 450. We creeping up on 450. So y'all see the channel growing very fast. Not very fast, but, it's growing. You know what I mean? Slowly but surely we getting there. We almost halfway to 1,000. So I appreciate everybody that's already clicked that subscribe button and the like button and all that good shit, man. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling on Weed, man. And we'll see you on the next one. It's your boy, Mr. HD. Deuces.
On